All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Baltimore Guys. I am with my good friend Steve. And this is, I guess you can call it the Nerd Hour. The Nerd Hour. The NerdCast. That's what we're calling it.
It's been days in the making.
It's
maybe a couple hours.
Literally, it's like, hey, do you want to do this? Yeah, sure, let's do it. Okay, all right. I'm coming back from work. So,
right.
Could you explain to everyone why you're wearing a suit with no tie? Trying to be a rebel, huh?
I'm wearing a blazer and dress shirt because I just came from work. I work in insurance, so I have to look the part.
You're letting them know too much.
And with that buzzkill, thank you for joining us. I didn't want to change into something too casual. I was like, all right, we're doing a podcast. I'll be on video. Why don't I just keep the blazer?
Now you're trying to one-up me, man. Like, I invite you here, and then you try and one-up me. How does that work?
Do you want me to put Lego Superman in my shirt pocket so he's visible the whole time?
Just keep digging a hole for yourself there. Just keep digging a hole.
Right. All right, so I wanted to take the opportunity of our last podcast where we really just got into social media, 2018, just the big picture, celebrity following as well. Basically what it means to be wasting your time with certain social media applications and the way that they're used these days.
And hoes. Wasting your time with hoes.
Yes, exactly. And the perfect segue here. Hey, Basile, what do you think of this James Gunn guy?
Oh, I was going to ask you that. I really was.
There it is.
I was going to ask you that. I literally just watched Phil DeFranco talk about it during his thing. I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say? I don't know. I mean, I saw the tweets. I was kind of like, this is what we're doing now? Like even back then, like, dude, I was younger too, and I've done some dumb shit. Like, there's no denying that.
We've all said stupid stuff. We've all made just completely inappropriate jokes. We've all done it.
Right, but I don't think I've gone as far as making pedo jokes or even. Have I said any rape jokes? I don't know. But the kid thing, because there was two of them. The kid thing.
Yeah, at least there was a whole bunch of other stuff too. But right, I know, like specifically, that's what everyone
Tree of Life and blowing a kid and all this crap. It's like, come on, man. Like, oh, that's not even funny.
So like these were from like what 10 years ago about like right after Twitter became a thing, and I don't think he wasn't anybody at that point. I don't think he was known for anything. Like, because I remember seeing some screenshots of these tweets, and they had like just like 10 or 20 favorites, or 5 or 10 retweets. So like,
who the hell was favoring them?
Time. What's that?
Who the hell was favoring those tweets?
Yeah, that's the big concern.
Yeah.
But because what made me want to just bring this up is, like, I saw a hashtag today from I can't remember if it was a celebrity, but I know the hashtag is going around, and there's celebrity support, basically saying I support James Gunn. And I think it needs to be made clear, because I mean, gosh, you just go to the comments of posts like that, and it's just welcome to the internet.
Oh, God.
But
yeah, we're moving forward as a society there in humanity. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think what I want to like at least try to make sense of, I don't think they're supporting the content by any means. I think they're supporting the fact that they know him very well now. They know him as a great guy and a great friend. And I don't think that this circumstance necessarily changed their point of view on him. Maybe a little bit, but I think in general they support him as a person and as an artist. I do think Disney was justified in canning him as quickly as they did, because it was all you read about when that stuff
they had to get away from that quickly.
Exactly. When that stuff started circulating, he came out with an apology right away. But within hours, Disney releases a statement. He gone.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, that took no time at all. This wasn't something where like things come out about Kevin Spacey and then a few days or a week goes by and then you find out he's being removed from certain things. Like, this was literally hours in the same day. All of this went down. It was the greatest start to any Comic-Con I've ever seen.
Yeah. So I have two questions. One was off of Philly D's show. Is there a statute of limitations of something you say in the past and that can be held against you now? For one, that's the first question.
Okay. I mean, are we talking from a legal perspective?
Well, that's well. I guess that kind of brings in my second question then, because now, what's the point of having a legal system now if your judge, jury, and executioner now is society? So if they deem that what you said back then was bad, and then yeah, it was in poor taste, obviously, but people shifting back and all your tweets, like, who are these people looking this shit up? Anyways, they're shifting back, looking through your tweets, and then this stuff comes up,
Well,
and it's like, oh, he said
how it
that.
came up, right?
Yeah, some organization was, what's the guy's name? Mike Serenovich. He was the head guy that's like pushing this shit.
I thought it was because he had accidentally tweeted a this type of this wording that I think he meant to type. People said he meant to type it into the search bar, and he was attempting to remove tweets from a certain time period by typing in this formula, whatever it was. But somehow he accidentally tweeted it. So it said it had his Twitter handle, tweets from this year to this year, and it was some formula to input into Twitter to remove those tweets, but it accidentally was tweeted. And people immediately went to that time period to dig up what he was trying to remove, and that's when everything came out.
Oh well, I
That's what I heard. I could be wrong. It could have
well,
just
I'm
been.
not gonna lie. I honestly didn't follow it closely. When you told me, I was kind of like, oh, well, sucks for him, buddy. But along like so, people on social media pushed it to where it got the exposure it did, and then Disney had no choice but to pull the plug. And but regardless, it happened 10 years ago. You bring up legalities and stuff. Like, is there a point in time when, you know, are we gonna go to court to and clear our names? Because there's been situations where guys have been accused of stuff, and now it's like, okay, well now I have to leave my job to clear my name because this person's trying to ruin my life, and it's false. But people online are taking that as fact, and then now it's basically you're guilty till proven innocent.
I mean, it's not. I want to say he's been accused of anything. I think the evidence of what he said is there. Obviously, he didn't do any harm to anyone. There was no threats made, so I don't think it can go that far. I just think this is all it is to me is someone who is now in the public eye, who wasn't 10 years ago, made some pretty weird jokes that you could find these jokes on Twitter being tweeted every second of the day.
Right.
Stuff like this from just complete weirdos out there. But the fact that this guy is now in the public eye, he forgot to clean up his past a little bit. And this is all about image. This is nothing to do with any type of legal action. This is nothing to do with, victims coming forward. This is strictly, this guy is employed by the biggest corporation in the world, representing a massive film franchise, and this comes up, without hesitation, he's gone.
Right.
I think that's really all it is. And I don't know what's going to happen with the future with this guy. He probably has nothing ahead of him because of how big this was.
Right. So that's, I mean, is that fair? Well, back to the whole well, I think you said criminal accusations. Your boy Ted Cruz is like, well, he put these tweets out, then maybe we need to see should be some sort of prosecution because, an investigation needs to take place because maybe he did do it, and it's kind of like
maybe he's like leading onto something.
Right. And I mean,
first of all, did you say my boy Ted Cruz?
I did. You are in Texas. You are in Texas.
Just because I'm wearing a blazer doesn't mean I relate to Ted Cruz.
You're in Texas.
Oh my God.
Don't be mad at me. I mean, that's.
I'm sorry. What's this podcast called?
Okay, we're going for low blows now. All right, I got you. No, but yeah, because now basically he can't do anything. I mean, it's over. It doesn't matter I mean, that
He'll be making a Guardian sequel that goes directly to VHS.
right,
Like
right. He'll be
that's
that
all he
guy.
has going for him. That is it.
I mean,
So it
let me take that back. I doubt it because I assume he's got connections with people, and he'll probably be doing some background stuff. He'll do a commercial here or there, and he doesn't
and
have
he's
to show his
famous.
face.
He's got work under his belt. He's done
Right.
impressive stuff. So
He's brought money to them, so they'll be like, "Hey man, we gotta let you go, but you can work here for the meantime." And it's kind of like, "Okay, cool, all right, cool." But that
yeah.
see that shit worries me because when I take off, actually no, I don't think it. Well, let me just not say anything I'm gonna regret. But I'm just saying I don't. It's ridiculous that how big you get, people are trying to bring you down. It's like, bro, don't you have better stuff to do? The fact that you could siphon through all that stuff. I mean, I don't know how many tweets he has, but the fact you're going to look through all those tweets just to be like, aha, I got it. And I think there's some sort of search thing you can do for keywords and stuff
Yep. Yep.
on Twitter now. So I guess that makes the process faster. But even still, it's ridiculous. Like, come on, man.
I get it. I get it.
Do something better for your time.
So with that segue,
Terrible
we're
one.
gonna, we're gonna talk about Comic-Con.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I think Comic-Con happened this weekend. I don't know because wasn't wasn't as big as I expected, but it was a Comic-Con nonetheless.
Yeah, it was odd. It seemed very quiet. I don't know.
Quiet. Yep.
It's kind of the
It
same
was
thing
also
for E3.
look at who was missing. Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
not there. Marvel, nothing.
right,
DC, only films that are coming out and nothing else.
right.
So it was already a formula for it to be a slower Comic Con, but what we got is being dissected like a science, as usual,
For DC.
for DC. And I saw Fantastic Beasts trailer, nothing special. Godzilla, whole bunch of topics brought up with that one.
Gojira.
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 Shazam.
Where do you want to start? Because I wrote down
Well,
a whole little list here.
So we have our. I know I had the 3 trailers. You said you had 5.
Which one? Well, which ones do you have?
Godzilla, Aquaman, Shazam, the 3 from Saturday.
Oh, I have Gojira, Shazam, Aquaman, Glass, Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Yep. That's right. We're going there. We are.
What
going
about
there.
Titans?
Oh, that's annoying because now I heard, like Star Wars, the Clone Wars, it's going to be on a streaming service.
That's right. I didn't know Clone Wars was going to be on a streaming service.
So what the fuck? Where are you?
It's not going to be on Disney Channel.
No, unfortunately, not even Disney XD.
Disney's looking for that paycheck.
Like, bro, how much money do y'all need? I don't get it.
Oh. All right. So what do you want to start with?
Well, which one excited you the most? Well, no, let's go from least favorite to most.
My least favorite was Fantastic Beasts, but that's not on our list.
How dare you?
Clone Wars was more of a tease.
I guess. What's the difference between a teaser and the trailer? Because some teaser trailers are longer than the actual trailer.
Teasers don't give away main plot points.
Yeah. No,
so it's like Shazam was labeled as a teaser, but that was a freaking trailer.
Yeah, people got that, or they already dissected. Oh, we know what's going on. So many Easter eggs. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Look, a Superman newspaper.
Yeah, what was the point? What was the point?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he caught his fist just like Batman did in Superman.
Yeah. Like, hashtag Snyder Shill.
Right.
I'm looking up. I got the synopsis for Glass in front of me. I did watch that. I liked it. It was really cool seeing Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson, and James McAvoy.
McAvoy, please.
McAvoy.
I heard working with Willis is a bitch, man. I don't know why.
I've heard that too. I've heard he's like working with Tim Allen.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't in the last Expendables. That's why Harrison Ford was in it.
That's right. I remember hearing
Because
that.
Sylvester was like, "You don't want to work," and I was like, "Oh damn, okay, Sylvester."
So they got in Harrison instead.
Yeah,
Because that's a much better choice
yeah,
when it comes
right,
to working with guys who don't want to talk to you.
right. And
Hey
Harrison
kid,
just comes on. There's my plane.
where's my family? Sir, this is Expendables. What? Hey kid.
No, I didn't kill her.
Oh man, tangents upon tangents.
Yeah, we could just go on with Harrison Ford quotes.
Once you mention Harrison Ford,
But he Glass, yeah. So directed by M Night Shyamalan, who also did Split, Unbreakable, The Sixth Sense Signs, and everyone's favorite should have gotten an Oscar, The Last Airbender. So
and Village.
and The Happening with Mark Wahlberg, where he was confused the
That
whole
was
movie.
Shyamalan.
He was confused the whole movie. It's the
What?
plants, man.
Why are we being chased by the wind? We're being chased by the wind. No, no.
Oh God. Have you seen
That
his
was.
wife?
What's that?
Have you seen M Night's wife?
I'm
Yeah,
about
you
to
should. You should. She is some fine wine.
Yeah, she's good looking.
I had no idea he was only 47. I thought he was in his
I can
60s.
see 47.
But yeah, so M Night coming back with the Unbreakable trilogy with Glass.
Did you know that Split before you saw Split? Did you know that it was a sequel?
I did not see Split, and I did not know that it was a sequel. And I mean,
I found out about it. I found out about it after it was out. Like it was a twist at the end. It's like, oh yeah, this is sequel to
what a
Unbreakable.
twist! Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But when you saw it, what'd you think of McAvoy? I thought he did a great playing. How many? A dozen or so personalities in that.
It was 23 personalities in Split. It carries over into Glass, and in the trailers they didn't show him doing too much of it, but you obviously knew he was still all over the
Yeah,
place
and he
with
had
his
like he was
presentations.
doing the had like a handful of toothbrushes he kept he was putting away. I was like,
That could have been for the toddler
yeah.
that he pretends to be.
I wonder which toothbrush the Beast uses, or he doesn't brush.
Only checking something here on Glass.
But yeah, so it's the third installment in the trilogy. Oh yeah, question: when Sam L is like I've broken like my bone 94 or 97 times in his lifetime, that didn't seem like a lot to me.
In a lifetime, that's
Yeah,
not a lot at all. How old do you think he is? 60 in the film?
yeah,
Average lifespan?
yeah.
So if you say he's 60, and then you have let's try it. Let's just say let's be lenient here. Let's say he's 60 years old in the film. He breaks his bones 95 times in his lifetime.
Yeah.
So that's 95 out of 22,000 days. That's really not a lot. He's got nothing to complain about.
Suck it up, you bum.
I'm tired of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
The best ADR in movie history.
No, ironically, the best ADR happens to be Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
For
Samuel L. Jackson,
for Pulp Fiction.
Monday to Friday plane, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Bruce Willis from Die Hard was the #1 ADR moment ever.
When was it?
It was Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Swear to God, you know where they showed that? It was on TBS or something.
It has to be. It has to be
edited, and then the Conan show got a hold of it and showed it, and it like everyone thought it was a joke, like Conan staff
right.
did the ADR, but no, it was actually Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. it was such a different voice too. This is the best ADR ever.
Oh God. Who walks
So
in
that
there and be
means,
like, what are we gonna use instead of motherfucker? What are we gonna use? I know, Mr. Falcon.
and it was such a different voice too. And
Give
so
that
I'm hoping
person a
I'm hoping
raise.
Glass has some good ADR.
Oh my God. We can only wait.
It's true. I'm trying to here it is. Ready? Could you hear it?
No, it sounds god awful. Please.
It's really quiet for some reason. Let me try this one.
Are you playing it off of your computer?
Can you hear that?
No, it sounds terrible.
So yeah, there's our best ADR of the century by Snake Plane.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot there, Steve.
Yeah. So what do we have next here? It was.
Wait, are we not even going to talk about Glass? That's it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were.
We're here to dissect. This is Nerd Hour.
All right. What are we dissecting here?
Obviously the Beast is going to fight Mr. Unbreakable himself, and apparently his weakness is water. What the hell was the point of what's that woman's name? Paulson Patton. I know she's
The character name?
the psychologist.
I can't find it here. I'm trying to find the
Sarah Paulson.
Yep, Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson. She's a psychiatrist.
That's the actress.
Yeah.
Joseph. No, that's not right.
What
character's name is Joseph Dunn.
What are you looking at? But yeah, so Glass, it's coming out January 18th, 2019.
Oh yeah, that's ways away. I forgot that was next year.
There's a lot of movies coming out in January. I don't know. Well, I guess the whole New Year's shit. But Sam L gonna be the bad guy along with McAvoy, and Bruce Willis is gonna be there to save the day. I'm looking forward to it. I hope this is a comeback from Shyamalan. When was the last?
What was his last film before Split? Because I feel like Split is what put him back on.
Yeah, I think. Let
me see here.
The Visit?
The Visit. Is that with the grandparents?
I think so. Yeah.
I love that film.
Oh, you do?
It scared the hell out of me.
Did it really?
When the girl was crawling underneath the shed.
That scared you?
And the grandmother comes around and crawling real fast. Here I come. Bruh.
Bro, have you seen The Exorcist then?
Yeah, and that is Exorcist has my number one scary moment in any film ever was when she crab walked down the stairs. I still haven't gotten over it.
Really?
My spirit left my body when I saw that on the screen.
Oh man, that part was good, and then I don't know if you've seen. I think it's the third one where the nurse goes and she's in the hospital. The nurse goes and closes the door, and then as she's walking away, there's like this huge screeching sound. It almost like pierces your ears, and this cloaked figure runs out with a huge pair of scissors and cuts the nurse's head off. You don't see it; it cuts off by that point, but it cuts to like a statue of Mary without the head. So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean that was a good Exorcist moment. Exorcist had its good moments, yeah.
I like that. So, and I also feel like Glass is more hyped. It's like one of the most hyped films that I'm seeing online. I think it's only because Split ended up being a sequel. Now people are excited because we get a cap to the trilogy. I feel like Split wasn't talked about. It was only talked about because of James McAvoy. That's the only reason people talked about it is because how different his role was. Right. But once people realized it tied in, I think everyone is now talking about Glass.
Do you think if they didn't show that part at the end with Bruce Willis, that we would still be hyped?
Which part at the end?
where
Because he was in the whole trailer.
no. I'm talking about in Split. Like he shows up at the end, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's what happened. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because that's what put the nail in the coffin
Brought
that
it
it was a
together
kid.
because everyone's kind of like, oh, this is a good movie about multiple personalities, and then Bruce Willis is there like, ugh.
And here's the thing: it was never ever leaked that it was a sequel until people went and saw the film for the first time.
See, that's how you do it, kids. That's how you do
That
it.
is how you do it, kids.
Instead of showing it in the goddamn trailers,
Right?
Ant-Man versus the Wasp.
Who they show in there?
They basically showed the after credits in the trailer.
I don't remember that.
They showed like the ant playing the drums, and then you guys got the point of what the hell is going on in the whole, you know, mom gets the force powers or whatever the heck is going on. Nah, it's a bunch of crap. The movie sucked. I'm sorry, I'm venting.
I might be seeing it this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I have to. Before we even move on, I'm going to segue here, and I have to argue with you. You said the Equalizer was good. What? What?
I'm sorry, we're talking about the same Equalizer, right?
Yeah, Equalizer 2. Yeah, that crap.
With Vizelle.
What, Denzel Washington, yes.
You saw Equalizer 2 and thought it
did.
sucked.
I almost went and got my money back.
Breaking hands, 5 stars, Junior. None of that worked for you.
I said, what the hell is Steve talking about? Now, I will admit, Denzel made the movie. Yes, he did. But,
oh, man, the messages.
See, I had a conversation with a friend of mine with that. The part where he's yelling at the kid who's in the gang thing, that's a good point, and that's a real life thing he's trying to say. The problem
it's a great scene.
The problem is that because it's Equalizer 2, not as many people are going to see it as Black Panther is. So I know Denzel is very proactive and very I'm not going to say anti-black movements, but I think he's established himself as like, look, this is like some BS that's like trying to exploit us, and we need to be accountable and all this other stuff, and which I agree with him, it's great. But for it, and which I know in that scene, that's what he was trying to portray.
I can see that because he actually had a specific quote there when he said, "You have 2 ways you can do this. You can come home, you can focus on your studies, or you can stay here, hang out with them, and blame the white man for everything." That's what he said.
So the message was great, but like I said, that movie is not as popular. Even though I think it won the weekend, but what was his competition, honestly? But
Ant-Man.
But it's not as popular as Black Panther. So people, of course, are going to gravitate to that and then hear all that message and cheer praises and all this other stuff about it. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it was a waste, but it kind of was a waste. But outside of that, the movie sucked ass. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. Like, I don't.
Third act, I hated. It was too theatrical. It's like getting to the last level and
no one got wet.
What's that?
No one got wet. I'm like, you guys are in a tsunami and you're all dry. What's going on?
Hurricane Sandy. Yeah, everyone's dry.
Everyone's dry. I mean, look, I get it. You got to do your thing, whatever. But the worst part, though, and I think this is a big thing with Denzel movies, it's always older women, in particular black women, that go in there, and everything he does, they take it to the next level. So he like punched somebody, and they all like, oh, it's like, or he's trying to figure out the whole the shooting scene that happened between the wife and the husband. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right, Denzel, because he shot him. He didn't shoot him like this. He shoot him like this. So the bullet
that was some like Arkham Knight level detective work. I was like,
but the point was that they're trying to solve it with him as if he can hear them. Bitch, it's a movie. Like, shut up and just watch. Why are you talking?
Like, when he was investigating that crime scene, I was waiting for him to go, Alfred. Didn't happen.
Didn't get it. But like, I'm just like, oh my God, please, like, just shut up, everyone. Just shut up. Everything he did. And the fight scenes, like the finger break scene, everyone's all like, oh my God. oh, this is brutal.
I did like though in that same scene when he went to the apartment, there was that one guy. He hit him somehow, and the guy was kind of like leaning over the glass table, and he takes his tie and just yanks his tie. That was hilarious.
But I mean, I literally thought it was Grand Theft Auto Denzel Washington.
I can see that.
I didn't know at what point it was the main story. I had no idea.
That was an issue I had. It jumped to subplots in between the main
way
plot.
too quickly, and then there was too many insert shots of scenery, like just random. So, do you remember the part where he goes to visit the old man, and he's talking to the old man, and it just cuts to the scene with the waves out of nowhere, and it cuts them back to them talking? I was like, what the fuck was the point of that?
Yeah. Yep. What the hell? Like every cutscene said Budapest at the bottom.
Right. Just like freaking. Wait, what do you? And like you need to show me like
this guy's racking up some air miles.
Yeah, like you're literally showing me every section of Boston just to show me. It's like okay, well.
All right.
But
moving
yeah,
on.
the movie sucked. You have no idea what you were talking about.
What?
I said that movie sucked. You had no idea what you were talking about.
Agree to disagree. I know art house when I see it.
The next one I guess you can talk about is Gojira. Now, the only issue, my glasses keep fucking falling. The only issue I have is I'm starting to see this a lot with actors and actresses, not to discriminate. Is if they're popular in a certain role, they'll get cast and basically play that same role. So Millie Bobby Brown, whatever, is popular in Stranger Things. She essentially is playing 11 without her powers in Godzilla 2. Like, that's what I got from the teaser, and that's what I got from the trailer. Because the whole part when she's, like, trying to call on the radio, and then out of nowhere she covers her ears and starts screaming. It's like, wait.
No dialogue from her.
Yeah,
no dialogue.
I'm like, what? This isn't...
It's like 11.
Yeah, this isn't Stranger Things. What's going on? And then in the trailer, she's, like, all looking around and all, like, in a panic. And then, like, she's, like, doing essentially everything she does in Stranger Things. It's like, why don't you let them play and, like, showcase their talents? Like, you keep having them do the same thing that they do. And I'm like, I think as an actor or actress, I would be offended. It's like, I can do more than just what I do in a popular show. Like, I have more talents. Like,
yeah, I see what you mean. I'm hoping they give her the light of day in the actual.
Who knows? It's a trailer, but I'm just saying. I noticed that, like with what's that other crappy movie? Rampage, with Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
He's much better than that.
Yeah, but you're basically, hey, could you be Negan again, except this time without the bat and a suit?
Oh, a little more southern accent.
Yeah. I guess I guess I'll do it. Just cut me the check. Cut the check.
Yeah, right.
But what did you think? It's directed by Michael Dougherty. And I'm going to mention this later on, especially with Shazam. But he directed Krampus, Trick or Treat, and he was in X2 and X-Men Apocalypse with that actual pedophile director, Bryan Singer.
He also directed Superman Returns.
Did he direct or he was in it? Oh, he just was assistant director.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I'm sorry. It was one of the top results. I'm surprised. All right.
But I've been noticing a trend of that a lot of horror Hollywood guys are getting, like, I don't know if they just want to do something new, but they're getting a lot of these movie.
What does that bring to the table? So for something like Godzilla, I can see that. Shazam, I don't see it. Aquaman, I don't see it. So where's the benefit?
James Wan, I mean, that's Saw. I mean, is there going to be a killer fish scene that we don't know about?
I know the Aquaman has and we'll talk about it, but I know it has the whole trench scene that everyone is buzzing about. And there's a big horror element to that, apparently.
With the fish, yeah. That's the one they showed in the trailer with them diving and the flares in his hand.
That was a that was a freaking Renaissance painting shot.
You know what else was a good shot? The submarine thing when he came up with that.
Another Renaissance painting shot.
All
That
right,
was.
let's stick with Gojira.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Back to my boy.
The king has returned.
Dude, so what's up with that? King Lannister at the end. Oh,
See, that's another thing. They're like, what would you say in Game of Thrones? I'd
he's doing the
probably say
same
this.
role.
Yeah,
He's doing the same role.
I'd probably say this. Okay, we're gonna put it in there. Yeah, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. It's like, bruh, come on. They don't have Bryan Cranston playing fucking the dude from Breaking Bad every movie. So like,
I saw it's funny. I saw a Watch Mojo list of like top film deaths that we still haven't gotten over, and Bryan Cranston in Godzilla 2014 was one of them.
well, that is
Because everyone's
true.
like, oh, it's going to be Bryan Cranston versus Godzilla. Let's go. And then he dies like 20 minutes into the movie. They're zipping him up.
Oh.
But I was bummed by that too, because he's what roped me into the original Godzilla film, 2014, obviously, the one that started this thing off. His acting with his wife and that whole beginning thing, knowing something else was going on, never giving up on the investigation. What's that?
That's a really good opening scene.
It was, and like his son thought he was crazy. He became an old man lunatic, and he ended up being right the entire time that they were hiding something.
Right.
And he just did such a good job halfway through, and then they decided to go with Aaron Taylor Johnson for the rest of the film.
Yeah, and the thing that made it worse is like y'all were just in freaking Ultron and like brother and sister. Now you're lovers. Like, come on.
You didn't see that coming? No, I didn't.
right out of left field.
Yeah, but I personally, I know we've talked about the screen time issue with 2014 Godzilla.
12 minutes.
I feel like that criticism has been heard. And my only issue with the trailer, and again, I know it's a trailer, my only issue with the trailer was that it's called Godzilla King of Monsters, but although all the monsters, Godzilla included, got equal screen time. Yeah. So it didn't look like a Godzilla trailer. It looked like a monster movie trailer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. And wasn't it brought up that King Kong was going to be in this? So I don't know what.
I don't know if he's going to be in it. I'm sure, because the one after this is Godzilla vs. King Kong. So I can see them doing something like maybe post credits or at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Because
King Kong's swimming.
What we need to figure out is, one, how to get off that island.
Right.
He's swimming for 7,900 miles.
Right. Well, but, they said in Skull Island he's like basically a baby.
Yes, and that was in the 70s. He's still growing, is what they said. So we know he's still growing. We know he defeated the giant lizard thing in Skull Island, so he's going to survive. He's going to keep growing. But the question is, how does he get to wherever this is going to go down? I mean, are they going to do that's the thing. You can't do a Peter Jackson style King Kong at this point. You can't have him forced off the island by man, because he's going to be too damn big. You can't do that. So I don't know what they're going to do. It could be another thing where, like in Godzilla 2, that something happens that requires these titans to go to certain places. Maybe Kong is a threat and Godzilla goes to him. I don't know. There's so many, so maybe he builds a raft.
I got confused. So she said they needed the titans, or the Titans work.
Dude, I watched the trailer so many times in a row, and I still don't understand that part. Something about, like, if Earth has a virus, there's, like, things to help get rid of it. But I couldn't tell if the Titans were something that Godzilla has to fight, because we know Godzilla is protecting Earth based off the first one. So I don't know if he has to fight all of them or if they all work together, but I doubt that.
Well, we know we have the 3-headed monster. I forget their names. It's been so old. Mothra's in it.
Yeah, I have the list here of monsters. I don't know. The monster nerds are going to know this.
I wonder if Mecha Godzilla is going to show up.
So I had heard King Ghidorah.
Okay,
yeah. Mothra, and then there was one more. I can't find the name.
Gojira.
Rodan.
Oh yeah. That was my dude.
So I had heard a rumor that Mechagodzilla will be introduced in King Kong versus Godzilla, and tell me if this sounds familiar. They end up joining forces to fight. What does that sound like? I doubt. Dude, it cannot go that way. Please.
Who knows? Who
Did
knows?
you already see the meme?
No.
It's Godzilla and King Kong fighting, and it says, "You're letting him kill Mothra," and then Godzilla says, "Why did you say that name?" It's pretty good. Damn good.
Oh God, they're gonna continue that trend for God knows how long.
Yeah.
But yes, Gojira, King of Monsters. I'll go see it. I guess I have to.
Here's what I think that they're doing right. Think of it from a visual perspective.
That's in May 31st of 2019.
Yes. Visually, I think it's going to be worth the ticket price alone, because I feel like they, especially in the first one, whoever's doing these films seems to really understand how to capture scale.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking up at a giant 300-foot creature, they
Right,
know
break your goddamn neck.
they know how it looks and how it should look and how the environment reacts around it. That's what they're doing good. So I will definitely be watching it in IMAX probably.
Oh, look at you! Huh?
I'll probably go by myself. Kim's like,
Is she really? When you were, so you were home and you were off, right?
Saturday, yeah, for
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
So when you were doing this, was she just like walking by you, just like?
No, I was
marry?
in my office the whole time. She was like out doing stuff with society.
She's like, I'll be back, hon. Okay, I'll be here.
All right. So Godzilla.
Next
Thumbs up.
up, Shazlam.
Shablam.
Shablam.
All
Now,
right. So why don't I just get it out of the way, because I know I'm the minority out of the two of us.
let me just say this. David Sandberg is a huge inspiration to me because that guy was basically making 30-second horror clips online, and he got the opportunity. People liked it. They were like, hey, you want to direct this movie, Lights Out? And they're like, okay, sure, yeah. He did that. He did Annabelle Creation, which apparently people liked and got money, and then now he's doing Shablam. So shout out to him, and this is a point to all you filmmakers out there. You don't have to make features all the goddamn time. Sometimes you can just make some little stuff, and then you get the big stuff. But
Sandberg was the one that directed a short film called Lights Out.
Yes.
When she turns the light back on and that face is right there.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite horror short films, and I lost a lot of sleep over it. I had no idea. I had no idea that was the same guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Now look at him.
That's his, and the woman's his wife. His wife.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
And he did all that stuff by himself, and I like him because he's the kind of director that's like, why do we need to do all like he wants to do things like then and there. Like he doesn't want to waste time having to change the camera and do all this crap. It's like, why don't we just get stuff to where if we can do it now, we just do it now, save time. Let's just make the story good and everything. And so watching his YouTube stuff on how he was basically learning on the fly as a director, it was cool to see that, it does happen out there. Some people get opportunity. He took advantage of it. It gives me hope. I hope I can get something out of it, But that's my rant.
You're going to direct the Shazam sequel.
Yeah, no. Actually, I'm gonna do the redo of Justice League.
There you go.
So, and 15 years, guys, expect a great reboot of Justice League because
just fix that CGI.
Yeah, they're obviously not doing the Snyder cut. Obviously,
I'm done with it.
But Shazam. All right, so get what you wanted to get off your chest. I'll get off mine.
All right, but was not looking forward to it. I don't care for a naturally lighthearted story. I knew that it's a 14-year-old kid that becomes a superhero. I knew that there's going to be a lot of humor. It's going to be a very different DC film, but I didn't care. And then the trailer happened, and I am blown away. I want to see this so bad. It looks so good. It's not being funny because it's trying to be something it's not. It's being funny because that's the nature of the character, and it works. Mm-hmm. And rant.
Oh, okay. That was pretty simple.
Don't worry. I still got some criticisms.
Oh, okay.
I am genuinely surprised by that trailer, and I am actually like excited for April.
Okay, so I enjoyed the trailer. I guess I'm gonna go see it. I'm not like ecstatic to see it. I already knew what it was about. The only thing that I don't know if it's a criticism towards the trailer or more along the lines of DC, but the fact that people are saying like, this is what DC needed. It's like, well, if DC got it right the first fucking time, we wouldn't have to worry about what DC needs. You know what I mean? It would just add to the momentum of where the story's going. But now, now the unfortunate thing is that I feel like everyone is now putting all these hopes into Shazam to revamp the whole DC universe.
That's what Wonder Woman did.
So
It's like Wonder Woman all over again with what I'm hearing.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
so it's like
Just because something didn't score above 60% on Rotten Tomatoes doesn't mean that something needs to be fixed. That's my opinion. You want to see what needs to be fixed, you look at Justice League and tell me that that's okay. You know
you let
that
those lips on a big screen. Like people,
somebody
producers
looked
looked at
somebody looked at it and said that works.
yeah, somebody legit looked at it and was like, they won't notice. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I mean, I could barely tell. I mean, look, you guys did a great
Henry
job.
Cavill. Henry Cavill. I love Justice League.
Tell me, do you bleed? It's like, my God, man.
I know you. So
You let that on TV, on a big screen too. And oh my God.
with that aside, I don't think it. I don't think that they're doing this to try to make DC different. I don't think they're making new direction. I just think they're being true to the character. I feel like because look, Shazam has been on the slate since 2014, since before BVS came out. Shazam has been set up for a 2019 release date. I can't see the film being that much different because regardless if Snyder had finished Justice League or not, that was going to be a lighter film. We already had Wonder Woman, and Justice League was supposed to be the lighter of the trilogy. And then after that, what do we have? Aquaman, and I'm sure that would have been just as it would have been the same. The director was the same. Everything else was in place. The only stumbling point from what was planned was Justice League at this point. They took the lightheartedness that Zach had planned and turned it up to 15, and that's what we got in a very short film. So I think Shazam would be very similar regardless, because look at the nature of the film, look at the cast, look at the characters. It's a teenager who's your average teenager who gets superpowers. You can't intentionally make that dark.
Right.
I'm sure you can at some points, but it's supposed to be a naturally lighthearted film. That was the plan from the beginning.
Right. Yeah, and I understand that, and I'm down for that, but I just don't like the whole this. I guess this expectations that they have for it, like it's supposed to be the saving grace of DC, and it's like, come on now,
No.
it's not that. But I hope it does well, so David Sandberg can continue to get work. Shout out to you, David. I hope if you ever see this, I'm your fan. And if you need me for PA work or anything, or be in the background or hold your coffee,
Cyborg's cousin.
yeah, Cyborg's cousin, let me know. I can do it, man. I can do it.
Tyrone Magnus is still begging for that role.
But I can do it for you. So Shazam, it's a definite must see.
Hang on, can we critique real quick? That suit's got to be worked on.
Yeah, he's trying to stop traffic
It's
with
like he
that
bought
suit.
foam at Joanne Fabrics and just stuffed it underneath the red sheet.
Yeah,
Sorry, David, if you're listening.
that's not his call. I'm sure that's the costume designer, and
It's just it looks too clean to me.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like it's. I know it's magic. It's not a a veteran superhero or anything, but it's a very clean looking suit, and I hope they can enhance it a little bit if they need to, because it's just.
Is it me or Shazam never had like a cape? It was like a half cape all the time. He always had a half cape.
The short white cape has been a thing, because I remember I've seen images where he's wearing the hood as well. So that's a homage, but it just for this particular suit, it just doesn't look right. Whenever I think of Shazam, I think of the Alex Ross art. Mm-hmm. If the suit looked more like that, I would be more on board. But it looks like a plastic yellow, 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
power source type
I
of
mean,
thing.
essentially it is. I mean, the kid's like, can I touch it? It's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But there's plenty of time to go for post. So who knows if they'll change color grading and
You
all
know what?
that fun.
If he has it for this movie, fine. But I assume for when the sequel happens and Black Adam comes in, okay, then we'll do it. We'll do it then.
And if he
It'll
eventually
be a change.
teams up with the Justice League, I'm sure we'll see something different.
Yep. And Superman's crooked lips. So.
I lost. All right, moving on.
uh, Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Um,
Is right.
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I don't. Is it weird to say I'm indifferent? Like I really.
My problem wasn't anything within the film. It was the trailer itself. I just didn't like.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I didn't like the trailer. No, it was so fast paced. I couldn't take it all in. It had the same sound effects for like every 3 seconds for like the sound effect when he like breaks the sword, when he's getting bullied, and then when he jumps out of the plane at the end. That same sound effect that they do
And
to try to like hype up something crazy about to happen, and then cut.
are they going to explain his whole cowabunga screaming that he always does? Like,
The chicken scream from Moana.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, it's so bad. It's so bad. Are they gonna
Yeah,
Are they gonna explain that?
Are you talking about when Jason like jumps out of the plane and he
Yeah,
screams like he does it in Justice League too?
yeah,
Look,
he does.
here it is. It's the chicken from Moana. Wait for it. Think of Jason Momoa. Ready?
It really is. It is. It is. It is. That is his scream.
That is it. It's the chicken from Moana.
Yeah, it's like,
It's a little much.
yeah. I mean, I assume that was his idea too. I mean, but
Here's the thing too. I also think that you have to see it on the right type of screen. It's going to be like Avatar meets Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars
yeah,
underwater.
which is crazy because the budget's 160 million. I would assume with that much CG, their budget would be much higher because that's expensive.
Like 350, 400 area.
Yeah, because that CG is expensive.
Yeah.
And when
Did-
they went down to Atlantis, that looked expensive.
Yes. So, and I read an article today that, first of all, shout out to James Wan for like in every interview he's done since Comic-Con, he's been praising Zach. One for casting Jason, genius, obviously. But two, he apparently in an early Justice League draft, Atlantis was supposed to be introduced in Justice League, but James had gone to Zach and said, "Hey, would you mind if we put the Aquaman scene somewhere else for Justice League and save Atlantis' introduction for my film?" And Zach was like, "Do your thing."
Of course, my son.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what happened.
You may have it with my blessing.
And he said, and then James said, "Thanks, Zaddy."
And then James was fired.
But trailer wise, it didn't do it for me, but everything that I expected to be there was there, so I'm still looking forward to it. Just the trailer itself was just a little too quick to just take it all in. I thought it'd be a lot slower, more introductory, but it was just like boom, 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 character, animal, underwater, surface, back to underwater.
I guess they're doing that because they're assuming that you already know based off Justice League, even though people are like, "I'm not watching this crap again." But you know, yeah, I get what you're saying. Side story there. So you know, his wife in the movie, Mara, is played by Amber Heard, who
Yes.
also is the ex-wife of Johnny Depp. And Johnny Depp made a surprise appearance at Comic-Con. And rumor is that she was basically trying to run away from the site of who.
Is that why the Aquaman staff or the Aquaman cast was in a bus all the way up until it was time to go on stage?
Probably. Here, we'll keep you safe in here. Captain Jack won't find you.
Yeah.
And Johnny's on stage with his rum.
Where's my
Amber.
Amber? Yeah. Where are you?
Yeah, how sad is that, man? I feel sorry for that guy because he looks terrible.
So you know how he came out in character for the Fantastic Beasts monologue?
No.
You saw that, right? So he came out in full costume, full makeup as his Fantastic Beasts character with like the white hair and the fake eye and the scars.
Mm.
And he did a monologue as the character, and the fans loved it. But somebody online said, "Damn, Johnny Depp looks like shit." That's pretty funny.
Is that what he looks like now? Oh God.
I thought he was coming out in costume.
Man, I mean, I hope I wish him the best though, because he's going through it, and celebrity, man, that fame, it can be a big old bitch.
Oh, and by the way, I do have an ad on my browser right now in terms of, because I know we mentioned Equalizer 2 competition for the weekend.
Mm.
Equalizer 2 silences Mamma Mia 2 with 35.8 million box.
That's your competition, Mamma Mia.
Not difficult. You remember the first Mamma Mia movie that came out in 2008? You remember what weekend that one came out?
No.
Dark Knight opening weekend. Rest in peace. That's why it took so long for a sequel, because they had to collect funds.
Right. They set up a GoFundMe.
Lines
If
were going up for Dark
you're
Knight.
probably wondering how movie production ended up in GoFundMe. Well, let us explain.
Ever heard of
Christopher
Dark Knight?
Nolan's The Dark Knight came out.
They didn't even have any showings for it, because like some theaters did 100% Dark Knight
Dark
for that.
Knight, yeah.
Oh, and speaking, because we're doing a NerdCast, shout out to Dark Knight. Happy freaking 10 years.
Yeah, 10-year anniversary. And rest in peace to you, Heath Ledger, who did a fantastic job. I think he's the only guy to win an Oscar for a superhero movie.
I think so. Superhero movies have won Oscars, but not for actors or actresses. If I'm correct.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm still blown away by it, and more so, I'm just the question is, what would Dark Knight Rises look like had Heath not passed away?
I know, right? Move over, James Cameron in Titanic. Move over.
Seriously, man. But that's a whole other podcast.
Yep. So I guess we'll close it off with Star Wars Clone Wars. I thought that's a cool trailer. They know how to make trailers. They
They do. Now, is this so what is the gap now? Because this season seemed very unexpected to fans.
Well, because they cut it short with Clone Wars, and then they came out with Rebels, and Rebels has Maul in it, I think.
Rebels has Maul, correct, and it takes place right before A New Hope.
Right. So now I think they're just gonna basically don't worry about the Rebels timeline. We're gonna fix what happened.
So it'll basically just be Clone Wars extending that.
Right. So and it's also going. Did Rebels have it when he was Darth Vader?
Yes. I don't know if they showed Vader, but considering Obi-Wan fought Maul when Obi-Wan was old.
I know Ahsoka, his apprentice, fought him when he was Vader. And I don't know if that was Clone Wars or Rebels. Either way, I guess they're just going back and be like, okay, we're going to do this right. And then they're right.
And I remember in the trailer they showed Anakin, so
Right.
It's well before all of that. So it'll just be more Clone Wars canon, I'm assuming, is what they'll be exploring.
I guess so. But
and I do like how the animated shows are in fact canon, because if you saw Darth Maul in Rebels and then you managed to sit through Solo, you know that they are pulling Maul directly from the Rebels show.
Right.
And I loved that.
And
despite having to sit through Solo just to watch that scene.
And Emilia Clarke, because she's not too bad to look at.
Yeah, she was awesome too, and my wife loves her, so that was another reason that we had to.
Yay!
Swear to God, that's why we watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
She loves Emilia Clarke, dude.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
So, speaking of canon, and I know you're not a fan because you're a loser, but a Dragon Ball Z Super, the Broly movie trailer came out, by Akira Toriyama. And I just remember back in the days running back home from school, you know, 5 o'clock or was it 3 o'clock? Whatever in the afternoon after school, Dragon Ball Z would always be on Cartoon Network, and then made his transition to being on Toonami at night. They got to show some blood. I think they still show blood then.
Toonami. I remember that.
Yeah, they still showed blood, but they just had Dragon Ball Super, which was okay. It had its moments. It had its goods and bads. But of course, I'm sure as you know, what's going on in Japan as far as the anime creators. There'd be some episodes that looked like shit, and then there's some episodes that look spectacular. And people are wondering what's up with the inconsistency. Well, the problem is that the animators there are getting paid next to nothing, basically, and they don't have enough people to make the animations the way they are. I mean, it got to a point where I think Toriyama, or I forget who the other anime guys doing, did a couple of episodes themselves, and they look like flawless. They're fantastic, but they don't pay them enough. Like, there's not enough people, and it's not a well-paying thing. So you kind of just stuck. You kind of have to get what you get. So they decided, which I thought was a great move, to go with like the old school animation deal
Well,
for
that's
the
what I was about to
trailer.
say. I was about to say that because I'm watching it now, and it looks like authentic anime animation that you would have
Yeah,
seen.
yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
look like it was made in 2019.
Yeah, so they decided to go with that look, and it looks. I'm okay with it. I'm
I like
completely
it.
okay with it.
It looks really good.
So, and that I think that was the first trailer to get on trending. That was number one for like a few days, and then Glass came out, and then Shazam, then Aquaman. But yeah, I think how many views does that have? 8 million.
I gotta look up.
Are you on IGN? Because I think that's when they first dropped it.
Let me check, see what the sources are. So we have, IGN has 6.4 million views. IGN is like the main one that dropped it, and 201,000 likes, 3,000 dislikes. That is awesome.
Yeah, it's a very exciting thing, and a lot of people are looking forward to it, which they should. And I am definitely seeing it. I think it comes out in January as well. So I will definitely be seeing that ish.
Is that a straight to Blu-ray, or is that coming in select
That's in
theaters?
theaters.
That is awesome.
That's in there, dude. It will sell out. I promise you that.
I'll be interested to see that
It will sell
in
out.
terms of in terms of if it does sell out or not, or how popular it is in the theaters here.
In the U.S., oh man, it's it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge, especially with that dude. That trailer literally went when it first came out. It like had 100,000 views in an hour, and then it was
That's
on trending by the night.
that's not bad.
So it's gonna pick up. I promise you that. But is there anything else that we need to nerd about?
I'm running through stuff here. Nothing Marvel, nothing Star Wars in terms of film. Nothing Game of Thrones. Walking
Wait
Dead
till
is
you see
wrapping
the
up.
promo I did for our last episode.
Oh God.
It's just little inserts I put in there. It's nothing too special, but I think you'll get a laugh out of it.
All right. And I'm just gonna check one more thing. It was I don't know if you watch, but Andrew Lincoln is walking away from Walking Dead, and I'm very excited because I feel like that show, after season 5, people just really started dropping off in terms of fan and watchability.
Hmm.
But I think Andrew Lincoln is a incredible actor, and I hope that him leaving the show means he's going to be in other things now, because he's fantastic. Rick was my favorite character from that whole series.
But they're gonna have him play the same character in other stuff.
Coral, 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 Lori and Coral.
I'm
This is
telling
it.
you,
It's going to be Expendables 5, and they're
right?
going to bring
Watch.
Andrew Lincoln.
He's gonna walk out with his revolver. Who
Wait,
are
where's
you?
my mic? My mic ready? Hey, Rick, what are you doing? I'm doing stuff. Thanks. That's my Rick impression.
Sly.
I guess you could say we're expendable. Oral.
Oh man, but he's walking away. So congrats to you. Um,
Mm.
and
That'll be close to 10 years.
hopefully they
On
let you portray your talents in different ways other than
Love
Carl.
Actually. Love Actually is the only other thing I've ever seen him in. When Kate Winslet opens up the door and he's holding the cards, that's Andrew Lincoln. He looks like a child in that, but that's all he's like noted for besides Walking Dead.
You're a child for watching that.
My wife showed it to me.
Oh, that's what we're doing. We're gonna blame the wife. Kim, get in here
No,
and smack him.
no, I did not go to YouTube and search for Andrew Lincoln in Love Actually that one time when I was 21.
Oh man. I'm over here talking about the bad stuff I did. You're like, I was on YouTube looking up Andrew Lincoln in Love Actually.
It's like the Peter Griffin quote. It's not like that time when I was 19. I felt up my cousin in the garage.
Good old Family Guy. But
all right, I think that's it.
That is it, folks. Well, thank you for joining us on this NerdCast episode of the Baltimore Guys.
And thank you for having me, as always. It's always a lot of fun.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We
will be back again next week, where we talk about. What are we talking about? Superman's lips.
Here's a preview. Wait, what was? Oh wait, it was. Well, I believe in truth.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of justice. No, you're not. We miss you, Zach.
God.
We miss you, Zach.
He still works for WB.
He's producing a lot of stuff.
I'd still go to that chairman and punch him right in the nuts.
I know. I wish he would just give us answers.
Anyways, man, thank you for joining me, man. I appreciate it. It's always fun. I'll talk to you as soon as I get off here. And everyone at home, you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves and a good work week. And, dress up like Steve.
That's right. That's how you make it in this world.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.
See ya.